Hey, it's John Lee Dumas of EO Fire, and it's the Entrepreneurial You, the show for dedicated and passionate Caribbean entrepreneurs seeking daily inspiration, brought to you by author, speaker, and award-winning entrepreneur Heneka Watkis-Porter. You must be prepared to ignite.
It is time indeed for another episode of the Entrepreneurial You podcast, and I am your host, Heneka Watkis-Porter. Welcome back to my regular listeners. And if you are new here, then a very special welcome to you. Now, last week, you'll recall, I went solo, giving some podcasting tips on how to come up with your podcast topic, find proof of concept, and create your uniqueness. If you have not listened to that episode, then you can go and check back, okay? Once you're done with this one. Now, this week, I am actually going solo again to share a bit about who I am. And I really think that, it's necessary because I really don't believe that you have the full sense of what I do, what I'm about. So I want to share a little bit about that. And I also want to point out 3 benefits of coaching as I am putting together my group coaching program. And I just want to share the benefits because you perhaps may be wondering, why should I get coaching? I already know it all. No, you need somebody to coach you. Anyways, but before I do all of that, I want to thank those, as usual, who continue to support the Entrepreneurial You podcast. So we have the National People's Cooperative Bank of Jamaica Limited, Profit Jumpstarter, and the Jamaica Stock Exchange, whose podcast, the Jamaica Stock Exchange and You, is hosted and produced by me. I implore you to give it a listen when you do get a chance. All right. Now, here's a word from the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And after that, I will be going right into what I have outlined in the intro. All right. So let's listen to the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
We needed to raise capital, but our experience with local financial institutions was that they were cautious and slow to act, and interest rates were far too high. We had real concerns about financing our business through outside equity investors and the possibility of interference. Could we get a fair valuation for our business? We had our own ideas about the business and its value. Should I go the traditional route of bank financing, or should I try the Jamaica Stock Exchange? So we made a call and experienced transformation of our business through conversations. I'm John Mafood, CEO of Jamaican Teas, and we're listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Give us a call today at 876-967-3271 to begin your transformation through conversation. We want to see your company listed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Welcome back to the Entrepreneurial You podcast. And of course, the opening business tip courtesy of the National PC Bank of Jamaica is a reminder to get organized. Successful businesses are built on the organization. Now, this can either make or break your business. Without organization, tasks can pile up and you can lose valuable money and time. Yes, believe me, when you have a lot of clutter going on and you're not organized, your brain don't function the way it ought to function. Like, I'm looking in my office right now, and to be honest with you, it could do it with a little bit of organization. So I'm going to, just organize. It's not really clutter. It's just that they need to be organized, like I normally have them, because when I don't have it organized the way it should, then I do have some challenges. All right. So let me kind of start with a little bit about who I am. Now, I have been an entrepreneur since it seemed like forever long. Right? I think I officially went into entrepreneurship in 2007 when I started Pato Apparel. And I say officially because I think before that I've been an entrepreneur. I was always doing something, coming up with something to kind of help my grandparents with money to send me to school. So I would sell things like apple at my gates and pick apples from the neighbor's yard and sell it back to students who were passing, in the summer, maybe doing summer school or whatever. I don't remember, but I know I was selling apples. Yay. So long-time entrepreneur. Okay. Of course, I'm a corporate podcast host and producer. I have produced in the past the Exim Bank's Your Business Matter podcast, and I currently do for Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Jamaica Stock Exchange and You, as you would have heard earlier. I am a 5 times author, And I'm about to be 7 in just a couple of weeks, and I'll share a little more at some point in another episode. I won't go into that today. I'll share in another episode about that. I am a coach, both a podcast coach, a business coach, a life coach, just a coach to get you on your track. Believe me, I've had so much experience, so many experiences over my 44 years of life. And I think I can now package that. I'm not at a stage where I can package that and help persons to avoid some of the mistakes that even I have made and to get you on your way. Now, I am also the host of my TV show, The Entrepreneurial You. Yes, this podcast is also a TV show. We're on a season break. We've been on an extended break, but it's a break. We'll be resuming. Not quite sure when yet, but we are in the process of trying to get sponsors and identifying a new home for our show. We have indeed identified a new home for our show. We're just waiting on some sponsors to come on board. And for this podcast, for those of you who don't know, I have interviewed some serious moguls on the show. You know, I've had the privilege and honor to interview persons like Lisa Nichols, Les Brown, Richard Branson, John Lee Dumas, Paul Carrick Branson, Seth Godin, and many other influencers on the Entrepreneurial You podcast. So from around the world. And I'm so honored. I feel so honored and humbled and filled with gratitude to be able to do that. Now, I mentioned earlier that I've been an entrepreneur since 2007, officially that is. And I started the brand Pato Apparel. So I was the CEO. I say was because that business is not fully functional right now. Long story with that, but yes, I am also the creator of the Caribbean's first virtual conference and expo, the Entrepreneurial You Virtual SME Conference and Expo, as well as an online summit, health summit that I did in 2021 called Slow Down and Live Health is Wealth. So this virtual SME conference and expo that I'm talking about, I ran that in 2017 before COVID made online thing a thing. I ran that in 2017, and it wasn't just an expo and it wasn't just a conference. It was the hybrid of the two. And over 4 days, I had 18 amazing speakers from 4 different countries converging on my platform right on the heels of launching the Entrepreneurial You podcast, which was indeed a radio show before it became a podcast. So you can see the history and the trajectory that I have charted out. And this show has come full circle, starting out on radio, then podcasting, and entering into TV. Now, I have successfully hosted LeaderCast events in Jamaica, and I've written for the LeaderCast blog and Thrive Global, which is an arm of the Huffington Post. Now, LeaderCast is, if you don't know, the largest one-day leadership event hosted globally, where every year events are held around the world. It's normally domiciled in Atlanta, Georgia, and I think the home has changed now. Pretty much began with John Maxwell, and when he thought he was going to retire, he sold it. So now John Maxwell has a different platform called Live to Lead, but John Maxwell actually started LeaderCast, right? So it's just an amazing, amazing platform for leaders to speak and share and come with insight. You know, you go to those conferences sometimes and you hear the same old. No, not with LeaderCast. You are going to walk away with some actionable steps to make your business or whatever it is that you do a success. If you're an employee, if you're an employer, whatever it is, you know, that is what is going to cause you to level up. So I have successfully hosted those. In 2018, I've done 2. 2019, I've done 2 as well. I haven't officially done any since then because of the pandemic, of course, and I really wasn't pushing the online edition as much. I've also worked as a video journalist for a top-rated video app headquartered in China. And my first assignment for them was the covering the Olympics that just passed. So there are just so many other things that I have not mentioned. Started many businesses. I've had many failures, quote unquote failures in quotes. I have the experience that is vast, and now I want to head into what I really want to talk to you about. And it is for you to think about your next move and how I can help you as a coach to get to that next level with my experience, with my failures, with my successes, everything. I have hit the global stage, some huge accomplishments. And that's what I want to, share. So I had shared a post on social media. I've shared it on Medium. I've shared it on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. And I just thought I just want to share the gist of this article. It's a short article with you. Just talk about coaching and, why we need coaching and stuff like that. So essentially, I made a point in the article, asking the question. So have you ever decided to forge ahead with a project and you look back and you say, I really wish I knew more when I started. I've made a ton of mistakes, costly mistakes. This sucks. Yeah. No matter who we are, the truth is we will look back and say, I could have done better. I look back and say I could have done better. So it's not that you aren't talented. You're intelligent, you're knowledgeable, and you're ambitious. And that is why you have all of these ideas in your head. But guess what? They're really no good if you never take action on them. But then you decide to take action. And as I said earlier, make all the mistakes you wish you hadn't. And that is why having a coach is essential. Now, I believe that the field of sports can teach us many things. So just examining the best athletes in the world. And of course, I'm Jamaican, so I will use an example from Jamaica. Retired sprinter Usain Bolt, in his heyday, he credits his former coach, Glenn Mills, for his tremendous success as the world record holder in the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100 meters relay. Also, track and field sensation, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce would not have had the success she did, becoming the fastest mother in history without the help of a coach. Now, why do people hire coaches? Number one, it is a requirement of a coach to be truthful, to move from stuck to unstuck. People need someone who can tell them the truth about themselves without the added pressure of thinking about how it will affect the relationship afterwards. And also, when somebody else is close to you, when someone is close to you, they can't see your blind spots. A coach considers that quickly and can give guidance accordingly. So, number one, truth. We're talking about the truth there, right? Somebody to that you can be truthful with and to. Sounding board. A coach provides a sounding board to bounce your many ideas off. Your friends and colleagues mean well, but often a conversation becomes about them as they start to tell you what they would do in a particular scenario. But they're not you. So telling you what they would do isn't going to help you much at all. Having a coach allows you to share things you can't openly share elsewhere. And the accountability part of it is the third aspect that I want to share today. So coaches provide an avenue for accountability. And this value is not just that transactional one, it's not in the transactional sense only, but also transformational. An effective leader understands that people will not reach for the future before they touch the past. When this connection happens, transformation comes, and that causes movement and momentum. So I say all of this to say that as a certified coach, I really want to do all of those three for you. I want to be your accountability partner. I want to be your sounding board, and I want to be truthful to you. Right? So I'm inviting you to join my upcoming group coaching program on the first week in November. I have changed the date. Initially, it was the 20th of October, but I have changed the date to the 9th of November. And it's for 3 weeks, an intense 3 weeks of transformation at a whopping 90% discounted rate of only $99 US. Yes, $99 US. You got that for 3 weeks. So one-on-one coaching is also available if you want that from me, because I do coach individually. But this one coming up is a whopping discounted rate at $99 for group. So let's talk about breaking some records. I worship at Worship and Faith International Fellowship, and my Apostle Courtney McLean, he's been talking from September about the quarter of the record breaker. It's the final quarter of the year. Let's break some records. So I want to hear from you. I want to take you higher than you could even possibly think of taking yourself. You know, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others. You know, an African proverb says that, and it is so, so real. So I look forward to hearing from you. I'm going to leave information how you can get in touch at the very, very end. So stick and stay. But before I do that, let me just get into a review. And this review comes from Dr. Don McDonald out of Canada. It says, great info. This podcast is full of great tips and pointers to help you live the life you've always wanted. I recommend you take a listen. Great job. Thank you, Dr. Don McDonald out of Canada. And if you wrote a review, please send me an email at Heneka Watkis-Porter at gmail.com and let me know so I can shout you out right here on the show. Thank you so much. Now, here's for the money tip. Today's money tip, as usual, is brought to you by Profit Jumpstarter, and it says, know your financial goals. Goals are important, but goals without action are meaningless. Let's start getting to work and make them a reality. There's money to be made. Go get it. Thank you so much, Profit Jumpstarter. And thank you for tuning in to this solo episode with me. Send me your feedback at Heneka Watkis-Porter at gmail.com or on social media at Heneka Watkis-Porter. Now, I mentioned prior to the review and the money tip about the coaching and reaching out. You can also reach out to me at Heneka Watkis-Porter at gmail.com to tell me that you want me to coach you. You want to be a part of the group coaching, and let's work together. You can also send me a WhatsApp when you go to henekawatkisporter.com. The WhatsApp icon is right on that homepage. And once you send me a message, it will come directly to my phone and I will respond to you ASAP. I just can't wait to hear from you. I want to talk. I want to talk about your future. I want to talk about your growth. I want to talk about your next level. You know, I am that person who can definitely help you to get to your next level. I know the tricks and the tips and all of those things. I have the tools that will take you to your next level. And wouldn't you want to go there? Level up, level up, level up, level up. Yeah. All right. Now it's time for According to the Scriptures. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Philippians 4 verse 6. What good?